What's going on, my lovelies? Kyle here. So I want to direct this video primarily for the empaths out there, but this could be for anyone. So empaths, my message for you is don't let others speak for you. Once again, empaths, don't let others speak for you. Now, why am I directing this message to the empaths? Since many of you are very good at empathizing, tuning into others, and many of you are attracted to stronger personality types, more extroverted, outgoing personality types, more self-assured personality types. Or perhaps you don't like rocking the boat, and you might be around somebody who always wants to speak for you. Could be one of your parents, could be one of your friends, could be one of your coworkers, could be anyone. But there are many people that love speaking up for other people when it's not in their right to be doing so, because they love to be in control of the situation, of other people, or perhaps they're just very verbose. They just blurt out what's on their mind. Could be a whole number of reasons as to why they are this way. But at the end of the day, I see many empaths pairing up, being around people that speak for them. And sometimes that's okay. Like there's something that might be so normal for you, so consistent for you that like it's okay if they say like, oh no, you're at a restaurant and we're like, oh, do you want a meat? And we're like, no, they don't. They're vegetarian. Perfectly fine if somebody else speaks for you when it's a very consistent, concrete aspect of yourself that they're talking about. But since many of you have a tendency to be a little bit more passive, go with the flow, not want to rock the boat, might be a little bit more introverted or quiet, maybe a little less self-assured. You might be internally self-assured, but when it comes out, it's not as forceful. It's very important that if you're around somebody or with somebody, paired up with an individual or a part of a group where somebody speaks for you and it is not right, or even if it becomes a habit and they keep speaking for you, guess what? Guess what pattern is being perpetuated in that situation? You are allowing another person to speak for you, to make decisions for you, since you already have this tendency to maybe take a step back, to maybe not speak up for yourself, to not voice your opinion, to not hold firm with what you believe, or whatever it may be. When you don't speak up for yourself, or you allow another person to speak for you in a situation where you should be speaking for yourself, you go down this path of becoming more and more and more and more passive. You go down this path of losing more and more and more of your voice. You go down this path of becoming more and more and more out of touch with yourself. And perhaps in some of these situations, you might have a very strong sense of self and what you want and what you firmly believe and what you want to communicate. And perhaps at first it's not that big of a deal, but as time goes on, these stronger personalities begin to wear on you, especially if you spend a lot of time with them. They might feel as if they're entitled to just speak for you. And before you know it, you're not even developing opinions yourself. You're not even speaking up for yourself. You're not even developing a stronger, more rooted voice that's aligned with yourself, with your truth, with what you want. And since so many empaths have a difficulty of standing firm in their sense of self, because they're so good at empathizing with others, they're so good at putting perhaps themselves and their ego to the side to sync up with others. You can do both. You can have a firm, strong sense of self and also be very good at empathizing with others. You need to know and see where you lean, one or the other. And since many empaths lean towards being a little bit more passive, giving other people the chance to voice their opinion, being more agreeable, you need to work on the being more disagreeable, speaking up for yourself, not allowing others to speak for you in these situations. Because if you go down this path of allowing others to speak for you time and time and time again, you will slowly lose your sense of self. You will slowly lose your voice. You will slowly lose what you're opinionated on, what you believe, on and on. And this, you could fall along the spectrum to varying degrees, but as a general trend, I see many empaths allowing other people to speak for them, especially when they're in the presence of another very strong personality who can have controlling tendencies, who might want to control a situation, or perhaps they're just very loud and they always want their opinion to be heard. That's what a lot of empaths need to work on to bring themselves back into balance. So don't let other people speak for you. And if you do, don't make it a habit. And don't allow them to continue to speak for you more and more and more and more. Because since so many empaths are very good at losing themselves and other people and other things, you need to hold firm and keep building up your sense of self. You can both work on being disagreeable and agreeable. You can be both. It just depends on the situation. You can be quiet, and you can also speak when you need to, and firmly when you need to. You can be both, depending on the situation. But because many of you have this tendency to allow others to speak for you at times, to perhaps lose your voice, to perhaps not voice your opinion, I think it's best that many of you stop allowing other people to speak for you. So once again, empaths, my message for you is don't allow others to speak for you. So it might be beneficial to take a moment of time to reflect. Who do you do this around? What are some of the stronger personalities in your life? They might not even be super extroverted. What are the certain dynamics or situations in which you seem to let go of your voice? You seem to give up your voice to another person. Because it's very important to, at least, even if you don't verbalize it, it's very important to remind yourself in those situations what you believe, what your opinion is, and to stand firm in your sense of self, since so many of you have a tendency to lose your sense of self in others or in situations, on and on. But I'll leave it there. Hope y'all are having a lovely day wherever you're at in the world. And until next time.